Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us at noon. I'm Nicole Gitsky. A funeral is being held for Rayshard Brooks. The 27-year-old was shot and killed by a police officer in Atlanta earlier this month. Now, the death of Brooks, along with the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis, has sparked protests against systemic racism across the nation. Let's take a listen in on this service.
They marched him up Golgotha's hill. They executed him on a Roman cross. They buried him in a borrowed tomb. But his movement was so contagious that he got off the cross and got into our hearts early Sunday morning. He got up with all power in his hands.
A crash that drove a car into a canal was caused by road rage. That's according to the Bakersfield Police Department. They say just before 10:30 this morning, the two cars crashed, sending one into the canal on South H near Hosking Road. The other car took off. Two people were able to get out of the car and the canal unhurt. About 15 minutes later, police found and arrested the other driver, Abel Almanza. Police say it all started with a road rage incident and that Almanza followed the other car, trying to run them off the road several times, eventually rear-ending the car, sending it into the canal. Almanza faces assault charges. All right, well, here are the latest numbers on the coronavirus outbreak. Kern Public Health reports 84 new cases today. Now, that brings our county's total to over 4,000 cases. Kern County has had 60 deaths up to this point. Right now, nearly 1,100 people with the virus are isolated at their homes, and 72 people are in the hospital. Well, now to new guidance on wearing masks from the CDC. Experts say it's not as simple as just putting a cloth over your face. The CDC has a list of advice for anyone who wears a mask in public, which the agency recommends. You should wash your hands before putting it on. Make sure it covers your nose and mouth and secure it under your chin. It should fit snugly against the side of your face. Make sure you can still breathe easily. The CDC says people shouldn't let it hang around their necks or their foreheads. Don't touch the covering, and if you do, make sure to wash your hands. Well, hospitalizations jumped 16% over the last 2 weeks in California. Now, the state saw 46,000 new cases of the coronavirus in recent days. The number of patients in intensive care in the state went up nearly 11%. This all comes just weeks after Governor Newsom allowed some counties to start opening back up and days after he issues a mandatory mask mandate. So far, 54 of the 58 counties in California are on their way to reopening. However, if the situation worsens, some of those counties could face the possibility of going backwards. Well, another case of COVID-19 has been confirmed at the Dollar General in Lebec. That employee tested positive on June 12th. Now, according to the store, they closed their doors and cleaned that facility. Dollar General has also confirmed a third-party individual tested positive for the novel virus on June 13th. They say that individual has not been in their store prior to June 13th. The company says they are following strict safety guidelines. Their employees must wear face coverings and gloves during each shift, along with deep cleaning of the store. And an employee at Wool Growers has tested positive for the novel virus, according to one of their owners. The owner says the test was pending and the employee received positive results yesterday. They shut their doors on Saturday and will remain closed until all employee results come back. The owner says they are not required to close their doors by public health, but decided it was the right thing to do, keeping both their employees and customers healthy. In Northeast Bakersfield, crews are on the scene of a serious crash. The crash happened just before noon on Highway 178, just east of Union. According to the California Highway Patrol website, multiple vehicles were involved. One pickup truck and one van with damage. The pickup truck has NAPD written on the side. Now, that stands for New Advances for People with Disabilities. We've also confirmed one of the vehicles belonged to the Bakersfield homeless shelter. We were told at least one person has major injuries. We are working to learn new information and will bring the latest to you as soon as we get it. Well, a magnitude 7.4 earthquake hit Mexico's Oaxaca state, located along the country's southern coastline today. Now, that earthquake occurred about 3 hours ago with an epicenter located 11 kilometers southwest of Santa Maria, Mexico. earlier estimated had the earthquake as a 7.7 magnitude, but that has since been revised to 7.4. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has said that hazardous tsunami waves are possible within 1,000 kilometers of the epicenter, including along the coast of Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. Well, here at home, members of the local Black community came together to talk about ways to support one another. The National Association for Advancement of Color People, or NAACP, invited people to take part in a virtual town hall meeting.
Starting an organization, No Sister Left Behind organization here in Bakersfield. We send off for our nonprofit status. And so we're getting ready to serve the community in a greater way as well. So we will join in with you and other organizations that are ready to move the Black community forward.
Now to a fire that broke out in the early morning hours this morning. This all happened just after 3 a.m. at an auto body shop on Plans Road. The building itself was not on fire, but 2 cars were burning when fire crews arrived. No one was inside the building at the time of that fire. No injuries were reported. So far, there's no word on how exactly that fire started, but arson crews were brought in to investigate a possible cause. And 1 dog is dead after a home burned down in central Bakersfield after flames tore through a building on 31st Street, not far from Memorial Hospital. Both the city and county fire departments had to respond to the 2-alarm fire, which broke out around 2:30 yesterday. According to officers, 3 people are displaced. 2 women suffered smoke inhalation. Deputy Chief Don Friend with the fire says this intense and temperatures this high, they needed more firefighters on the scene to give each other breaks. Now that fire is still under investigation. The search continues for a man who went missing in the Kern River over Father's Day weekend. The family of David Godinez tells 17 News he disappeared at Cow Flat Creek Saturday. The father of 3 was last seen by his youngest daughter when he went into the river but never came out. The family is from Los Angeles and says they came to the river for Father's Day because Godinez loved nature. Despite searching on the ground and using a helicopter, search and rescue has been unable to find him. They have a small crew out right now searching. Well, remember, if your fireworks don't have the Safe and Sane seal from the state fire marshal, it's illegal. But even if you have a firework from a certified seller, cities have very specific rules on how you can use them. And usually it is only around the 4th of July. Now, according to the county fire department, they have received nearly 1,600 reports of fireworks since last week. Now go to KGET.com for a full list of numbers you can use to report illegal fireworks. Now, the Kern County Animal Shelter wants to make sure your pets are protected this 4th of July, even if fireworks are going off. From now until July 2nd, they will be offering free microchips for your furry friends. KCAS says you must schedule an appointment ahead of time. Now, you can find that link on their Facebook page to make an appointment.
It is a nice afternoon, but also we are warming things up. 94 degrees in Bakersfield right now. We have a light wind out of the west-northwest at 5 miles per hour. And as we take a look at the almanac, you can see overnight we were quite warm. 73. We should be right around 66 this time of year. Normal high 93 and 110, the record set back in 1977. Here's a look at temperatures to start off for afternoon. 80s and 90s for the Valley. 82 in Fraser Park. 90 in Tehachapi. Lake Isabel at 92. Already 102 out of Ridgecrest. Skies remain clear. No changes on that front. There's actually a little band of high clouds on the western fringes of Kern County, but that is it. And you can see temperatures today right near 92 in Sacramento, 104 in Fresno, 70 south, and the heat really expands east. 104 in Vegas with Phoenix at 110. The beaches today, 67 degrees out at Pismo. The UV index is high. Water temperature at 57 degrees, and they'll be looking at a west wind right around 10 to 15. It's all because of this ridge keeping the warmth in place, and you can see the circulation of that ridge, and a few of these high clouds along the coast have drifted inland just a little bit. Here's a look at the main headlines. Sunny and hot through the weekend. We have the heat advisory until 8 p.m. on Saturday. The strong flow in the Kern River is a concern because a lot of people are wanting to cool off. But my best advice, stay out and stay alive. If you want to go in the Kern River, head on up to Kernville. They have a lot of great guide service up there, and they know how to manage the river, and you'll be nice and safe. And then cooler weather will return by Sunday, but most definitely into Monday, and you'll see that on the extended forecast. Air quality will be unhealthy for sensitive groups today with an AQI at 126. Bakersfield should top out near 102. 103 in Delano, McFarland, 100 in Taft. For the mountains in the Kern River Valley, 90 in Fraser Park, 92 in Tehachapi, right near 100 for the Kern River Valley. Lake Isabel at 100. Look for a northwest wind, 5 to 10. Out in the desert, sunny and hot. Ridgecrest, 108. 101 in Mojave. Here's your extended forecast. Tomorrow, 103. In fact, we'll be right near 103, 104 through Saturday. Mid-90s by Sunday, and then the cool down on Monday with the upper 80s. So there is some good news on the horizon. Mountain forecast, sunny skies, lower 90s through about Friday, possibly into Saturday. Then the cool down. By Monday, you'll be right near 75. And then for the Kern River Valley forecast, lots of sunshine and near 100 through about Friday, upper 90s on Saturday, and then the cool down by Monday will be right near 83. That's a look at your forecast. Nicole, back over to you.
In your 17 Business Watch, those who receive an extra $600 a week for unemployment benefits better listen up. That extra benefit money is set to expire next month. The money, which officially is the federal pandemic unemployment compensation, was part of the government's relief package passed earlier this year. That benefit is set to expire July 31st. Democrats have proposed keeping the weekly benefit through January, part of the relief package approved in May. The Republicans oppose the measure, and it is not expected to pass the Senate. Right now, there are no formal negotiations on another relief package. Well, feeling lucky, the Eagle Mountain Casino is set to reopen. Now, last night, that casino reopened their doors. It's closed back in March because of the coronavirus outbreak. Now, all of the slot machines and table games are ready for those who want to play. The casino is following CDC guidelines. So while it is open 24/7, there is limited seating. And of course, be sure to wear a face mask when you go into the casino. A temperature check is required for entry. The Golden Empire Transit is getting millions of dollars amid the coronavirus pandemic. That money is coming from the U.S. Department of Transportation's Federal Transit Administration. KGET Bus is set to receive $23.8 million for the services it provides in Bakersfield and surrounding communities in Kern County. Other transportation companies around the state are also getting money from the grant. That grant is part of the CARES Act signed by President Trump back in March. Well, now to an update on Give Big Kern. That event looked a little different this year because of the pandemic, but the people of Kern County were still just as generous. So far, close to $750,000 has been raised. That amount was raised by 125 nonprofit organizations. Well, now to a graduation ceremony that almost didn't happen due to COVID-19. It's the first of many to be held this week in Kern County.
By virtue of your presence here tonight, I believe you are ready to face the challenges that await you in the future. I commend you in your perseverance to get here, and I commend you of overcoming a strange ending to your high school career.
Golden Valley High School held a graduation ceremony for its seniors with safety precautions in place. Each graduate was allowed to bring 2 guests, but instead of sitting in the bleachers, the graduate and their guests sat together on the football field. KHSD is also live streaming this week's graduation ceremonies so other family members don't have to miss out. Well, you can now stream Spotify right from your TV set. Comcast subscribers can listen to music and podcasts from Spotify on Xfinity Flex and X1. You don't need to be a premium Spotify customer. You can use the free version as well or sign up for an account through Xfinity. Comcast, the parent of NBC Universal, also offers Pandora, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio.